Good morning. Today is Tuesday, November 13th, about 11 a.m. I'm doing a roof and siding inspection with all the trim work as well. I'm in Baltimore and I'm actually up on the roof as we speak. This roof is a shingled roof that has approximately 2 layers of shingles on it, several different penetrations and flashings. The age of the shingles is unknown. The condition of the shingles is nearing the end of its life. I'll do a scan and an overview of the roof system so you can take a look at the areas that we will be discussing. This is kind of like a split level roof system on a ranch style house. The shingles that were installed on the roof are a 3-tab shingle. The penetration down here is a fan for a bathroom exhaust or maybe even a kitchen. You have several plumbing pipes located around the roof, and that allows the ventilation to come out of the plumbing system. This is a common technique for valleys. This is called valley aluminum flashing. It is something that's not commonly used with new shingle replacements. It's more common to see it done whenever you do a layover with a new roof system. Whenever we do our valleys with the shingled roof, we'll do a weave pattern, and that's going to give you an extra layer of protection. Looks a little cleaner as well. One thing I'm noticing with the condition of the roof is the surface is becoming fairly slick. It was raining this morning, but just walking across the roof, the granules aren't holding a lot of traction like they should. There's a lot of moss around the roof, and that's going to be a telltale sign that the shingles are actually holding moisture instead of shedding it. This moss is a vegetation, and what's happened is a seed has landed on the roof and it's just kind of sprouted and started to grow. The area down next to the metal furnace is, it looks like it's leaked in the past, and the contractors put a roofing sealant around it. It's our recommendation to probably go ahead and replace that metal chimney with a new one. That way we can ensure that no birds or squirrels get in it, and also water does not penetrate inside of it. The one thing that we'd like to suggest you do for your roof system is to add more ventilation to it, which we will put a ventilated soffit that runs, or excuse me, a ventilated ridge vent that runs down the peak of the roof, and that's going to allow the attic to ventilate. Whenever we're doing the siding replacement, to increase the ventilation on the roof as well, we'll walk down and I can show you one thing to look at. Is this area underneath the gutters. Right here is your soffit. We will put vented soffit in, and that's going to allow air to come into the bottom of the roof and push that hot air up through the actual peak of the roof, and it's going to preserve the life of the shingles. As we're walking around looking at the different shingle, I always feel how much pressure it takes for those tabs to lift up. Not a lot of pressure at all before they lift up, and that means if rain is blowing in, it can blow water right in here, and it can hit that nail hole and seep down into your roof. It's very common to see the second layer of shingles blow off. When we do a roof replacement, we're going to strip everything off down to the wood deck, and we're going to create a new roofing system. The first component is going to be ice and water shield, and that's a rubber membrane that goes all the way across the base of the roof next to the gutters. That creates ice damming and wind-driven rain protection for you. The ice and water shield rubber membrane goes in the valleys, right on top of the wood, and it goes around all of your penetrations. It's a very, very important component. It is required by the manufacturers for your warranty. After the ice and water shield is installed, then we cover the rest of the roof with felt paper. All of your components are replaced, like the vent cover, the plumbing pipes. It is recommended to go ahead and replace the metal chimney that's down on the side of your roof. The aluminum flashing drip edge goes down at the base of the roof, and actually if we look at the side of your roof right here, this is called aluminum drip edge. We'll take the old off as we're stripping the roof down and replace it with brand new flashing. The peak of your roof is going to be cut out, and that's going to allow for the attic to ventilate its hot air out of there in the summer. After your flashings are in place, then we can begin with your shingles. We're going to start down at the base of the roof with your starter strip shingles. Then we will shingle all the way up to the peak of the roof. Once we get to the peak of the roof, we will use a shingle over version of the ridge vent system. And if you look at your next door neighbor's house over here, the very top of their roof, they do have a ridge vent system on top of their house. That concludes the roof inspection. Now step down and take a look at your siding. You have red aluminum siding. It looks to be probably 20 to 40 years old, somewhere in that age range, I would imagine. May even be original to the home. You showed me the interior of your bathroom, which has the walls taken out, and behind the red insulation is a fiberboard, which is attached directly to the studs in the wall. That is not a very professional way of installing siding. You should have some sort of sheathing up, and that's going to create a platform to build your wall off of. So right now, if we punched really hard or kicked really hard, we may even be able to punch right through the wall system, which means the large tree that's in the front yard, if a storm rolled through and blew a big tree branch out, it could puncture the wall. So the sheathing is going to be very important. Once we take the siding off and the fiberboard off, we're going to put a new plywood sheathing up. That's going to allow for the platform wall to be designed. After the plywood is put up, then we can put the insulation board on top of the siding, the insulation board on top of the plywood. That's going to help create a water barrier and also insulate your home. Then on top of that, you will have a new siding installed. The components that we use with the siding replacement are going to be J-channel, which is a piece of channel that interlocks onto the bottom side right here. You've got a corner post that runs down the outside corner. There are also some areas that will have an inside corner post. The starter strip siding goes down at the base of the siding wall. And you'll have new mounting blocks for electrical features or plumbing features on your home. All the accessories will be new and matching. Another thing of concern is the trim work. You have your gutters. This is called aluminum capping on your fascia board. And then underneath, which we pointed out just a minute ago, that's your soffit. All of that will be replaced. It's recommended that the soffit is going to be ventilated to create a nice ventilation system with your roof. And also, on certain areas of your home, there's a board that runs right below the soffit, and that's called a freeze board. And it's just a decorative board that needs to be covered. If you walk around to the side of the roof here, this board that runs along the roof line, that's called a rake board. It is exactly the same thing as a fascia board, except for it's on an angle. The siding, if I were making a priority list, would be number 1. The roof is going to be a close second because of the condition of the shingles. You are not currently missing any shingles, but they have lost their adhesion, so a strong windstorm could blow the shingles off and cause major leaks into your home. With the siding replacement, usually it takes anywhere from probably 5 to 10 days to have everything completed, depending on how smoothly the operation is going. The roof replacement should be a 1 to 2 day project. Usually it takes us anywhere from 3 to 5 days to schedule roofs and approximately 1 to 2 weeks to schedule siding projects. This concludes your roof inspection and your siding inspection.